Ryan Richardson. I'm the marketing manager with System Support. Today we are doing a little challenge ahead of the webinar on using AI for marketing automations. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use these two AI tools to create face-out content marketing pieces for your small business, as many as I can in about half an hour. We're using ChatGPT and HeyGen AI. Other systems are available that have different capabilities and different things. These are both real out of the box. You can set them up with very little effort. We've already done the face setup and avatar setup for Will, because this beautiful mug has to be reserved for really special occasions, and no one is going to believe I know anything about IT. So I'm going to go and do some quick hits for what we do, which is managed service provision for small businesses in southeastern Massachusetts. So we're doing IT services and cybersecurity services primarily. Your business is going to be different. But, I'm figuring while I'm doing this, I might as well actually do my job. So the first thing we want to do is think about what content we're going to create. So we're going to go over to our friend ChatGPT. We're going to do a basic profile. If you're paying for premium ChatGPT, you can already have this set up. You can already have a little agent put together so you can say, hey, we're doing XYZ. Use this profile. You are a small business. So let's start the timer. You run a small business providing managed services to businesses in the greater Boston area with an emphasis on cybersecurity. As part of your marketing strategy, you are looking to generate frequent video content suitable for shorts. Let's actually go ahead and zoom in. Display capture, game capture, window capture. That's what I want. We're going to zoom in on our ChatGPT window here. I'm using OBS to capture this. And I haven't used OBS in a very long time, so bear with me. Okay, goes on top. Zoom in on this window. This is how easy this is. I can fiddle around with everything else and still get quite a few pieces of content done by the end of this. Generate frequent content suitable for shorts, short form video on social media, geared toward business professionals and professional service providers, owners. And we might include something about our customer profile: attorneys, physicians, dentists, services, that kind of thing. So we have in a previous webinar, we talked about how you can format your prompts to get more, better, and consistent results. I really recommend you check out that webinar. Will's gotten much better at this than I have, but you're providing it as much context and information as you can so you can get better results. You want to create a marketing plan for these videos. The owner to provide valuable insight and information that will establish you as a credible expert in a fashion without resorting to words and technical jargon. So we want to have ChatGPT set up our little profile here. No, we're not setting up the marketing. This is fun. This is fundamentally that marketing plan. So we're gonna ChatGPT creating the marketing plan for our short-form video content. This is the nice thing about ChatGPT is it's going to tell you a lot of obvious things. Hopefully they're not made up, but you always have to double check because it's very amenable and agreeable. And if it doesn't know things, it's like a nervous kid. It doesn't say it doesn't know. It'll just make something up. So our core goal, establish brand awareness in our target region and verticals. Perfect. I've also talked to ChatGPT a lot about this, so maybe it knows more. Educate, empower, great. Yeah, so this is what we want to do. This is our things. This is perfect. Just what we want. 3 videos per week is probably more than we want to post, just because our target demo is pretty busy. And eventually, we're going to start running out of like layup business facts that I can verify on my own. So yeah, content categories we talk about. We've done this before. We have a weekly cyber drip tips series, and this is stuff I've told it previously. So we're cheating a little bit. Cybersecurity tips for small businesses, IT myths and misconceptions, productivity and technology, behind the scenes, local focus kind of stuff. Here's our script framework, hook, great, perfect. So ChatGPT has essentially done most of the work for you. Especially if you're a one-man band or running a small business, you don't have money for marketing professionals, for people who are going to get into the nitty-gritty and fine-tune and tweak stuff. It's going to get you 75% of the way there. And I say that as someone who did like direct-to-consumer and marketing consulting. Hopefully Will doesn't watch this video. But yeah, see, you're getting a lot for a short prompt. So let's say we want, here's the next steps. The next steps it's telling us is gonna batch record 6 to 8 videos at a time for efficient production. So Will and I had set aside about 2 hours in his day so we could sit down, we could talk about, and we could go through all these scripts and have him reading straight to camera. A couple of different shirts so it doesn't look like he's sitting so it doesn't look as much like we're fitting them all at once. But it takes significant time, effort, resources, and knowledge to create short form content, even if you're not trying that hard. And the biggest thing that impedes a lot of businesses isn't the technology or the knowledge, because you can do a lot of that from your phone if you're not persnickety about it. It's just the time. For small and medium-sized businesses, your owner is going to be the face of the brand. They're going to be the person that people want to speak to, that they want to see, and their time is just absolutely at a premium. And you don't have an afternoon every month to just be like, okay, we're going to get through these frequently asked questions. We're going to make these video sales letters. And that's where systems like HeyGen are going to come in. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go and say, okay, great. We've got all this ready. We've got rough ideas for content categories. So let's say, let's just go right in. We'll dive right in. Our first month of content. I don't know why I'm always polite to the computer here. Create a batch of content for the month of June. People will be going on vacation and their kids will be having summer break. So productivity tips, phishing scams, and seller seasonal items would be welcome. I use the above framework set to write the video scripts. Okay, so it should give us like 12 pieces. So this is one of my main problems with ChatGPT is it likes to do very literal formatting. So when you pull it to the next thing, you're going to have to cut and paste a little harder. But the amount of time that's it, you can tell ChatGPT to remove these things. So yeah, we've got video 1, out of office doesn't mean out of risk. Video 2, your kids aren't the only ones taking a break this summer. When fish come biting, unattended doesn't mean unprotected. Working remotely, so are the hackers. 6, 15-minute productivity fix for summer days. Is there office? No, but if we are posting 3 times a week, which is like a fine cadence, especially if you have an automated system like this, and you're doing short form content again. short form content is going to reward frequency and consistency in the algorithm, regardless of kind of what else you're doing. If we were posting 3 times a week, we'll need 5 more pieces of content. Right? 4 times 3 is 5. That's 4 weeks a month, give or take. And by 4 times 3 is 5, I mean 7 plus 5 is 12. Staff isn't psychic, especially when you're away. So again, I've primarily been rambling and yapping. It's been about, we're 13 minutes into our 30-minute goal. So we have 12 pieces basically scripted and ready to go. I haven't reviewed them. Ideally, you do want to take the time and do your tweaks and put in a personal touch, because ChatGPT, unless you're being more specific, is going to have a house style, essentially, a way it likes to talk that can feel a little bland and like there's not a lot of personality behind it. So when you have more time, you can take these scripts and you can zhuzh them up. You can add personality and things back that would fit your owner, that would sound idiomatically more like them. There are also other AI options where you can train models based on their communication that will give you those kinds of outputs and put that little spin on it. But that's outside scope today. So great. So what we want to do in this case is then we'd start pulling these and taking them over to our friend, we're getting HeyGen AI. Great. To our friend HeyGen AI. This was recommended to us by some partners. It's pretty straightforward. Wheels already set it up, as you can see, as you may or may not be able to see here. It's all set up. It's pretty easy. I like to make some project folders to keep things organized. So let's say social tips. We've already done these. I do a little more editing most of the time. If you've seen our content, I will quickly and do a quick and dirty run through Adobe Express, knock out the background I'm pointing my hand. I knock out the background this provides, put it over something else, and usually shrink down the avatar. Right now, what we have with Will is a little lower resolution and softer than I'd like, and the AI model isn't as powerful and robust as I like, so it's still a little, it still needs time in the oven like a lot of other AI systems, but you shrink him down, you make it look a little more homemade, you get a lot of forgiveness for some of those sins. But we're doing the quick and dirty model. All you have to do, really, is we create the video. We want to create an avatar video. We're creating a portrait video or landscape. Again, if you're doing short form video content, most of those are oriented toward portraits, like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels and Stories. So those are all vertical video content formats. You can also then at the same time do more traditional landscape video formats. Once you're copying and pasting, this allows you unlimited. If you're the paid version, you can create unlimited videos a month. So there's no reason not to just go for it. It's going to start with this default. You can, again, paid version, you can click off the label. And let's replace our avatar with Will. Here's Will. Again, he's the boss. He's the one everyone wants to talk to. He's the person with authority. Again, because they're the boss, you want to make sure you're not putting something untoward or incorrect in their mouths, because that's going to undermine the whole point. So you just want to really quickly, you do want to check to see what you're being told by the programs. So we're starting with out of office doesn't mean out of risk. That's what we're going to label the video. Great. So here we're going to copy and paste the hook. It also offers a voice director, so you can provide limited input into here. The more things you provide in your training data and the better your initial training data is, the better this is going to turn out. So it is worth spending the time to create a few videos with different avatars and kind of different outfits, like you would if you were setting up for regular content, because this is going to be a machine that you're going to be able to keep pumping out content with. And again, I've basically been setting up the whole time. We're 10 minutes in, and I've done more work with this than you would have been able to do in a traditional method in like a month, or at least a couple weeks if they're more productive than I am. So we switch into this. So, it's serious that your vacation reply could open the doors to a cyber attack. So what does this mean? So there is great. So yeah, a lot of phishing emails. So this is all set up. This is ready to go. We can preview this. It's going to have the character kind of move around a little bit and do lip sync. That takes longer to process. Really, the processing time is going to be your hang up. And it's got to run through the generation and run the algorithm against the text to generate the speech.
Your vacation reply could open the door to a cyber attack. A lot of phishing emails start with small details, like learning that you're out of the office.
So it looks a little more
cyber criminals look for those autoresponder messages.
An animated picture.
Hi, I'll be away until June 20th. Contact Jane instead. That's all they need to start impersonating you. If your team isn't trained to spot it, your summer break could turn into a data breach. Quick win, tighten your out-of-office messages. Even better, let's run a phishing test before summer hits. 10-minute chat.
Okay. And that's why you do want to preview these kind of things. It's like, so we'll say instead of 10-minute chat, because the enunciation and affect of the avatar, you got to get into some fine tuning. It could be easier. Why not schedule a free cyber security assessment? Yeah. And then you'll have the links and everything else. But all you have to do at that point is hit generate and into social tips. We don't want the watermark because, you throw on the AI watermark, you probably generally do want to flag that it's AI content just because I think YouTube and some of the others require it. But you don't have to have the logo. That's where you want your logo. So that's going to start processing. So we've got one piece of content. It's been 20 minutes. Create a video, avatar video, portrait video. And you can have these set up as better defaults. You'll notice there's a picture of Will in a suit that we have. That's a still image. Those do not process as well. It looks like a Conan O'Brien sketch where you kind of have the lips moving and the rest is still. So I don't really recommend that. You, again, invest the time and effort in getting as high quality audio and video capture as you can so you can train a few avatars. You can train the boss, casual wear, in a suit, one or two different shirts. Make sure the background is clean or attractive. One tip I do have is if your community has an easily accessible community TV station. I know we have one in Marshfield High School, and they're set up all around, and a lot of them have updated in the past couple of years. They'll have nice enough cameras and green screen, and you can just go in, rent some time, and say, okay, we want to get this done. We need an hour, again, real focus, and just do the training content there, and you'll have good quality on the audio and video. Otherwise, you just take the time with your phone, run a couple of takes, and you'll be fine. This is just like our demonstration. Okay. Let's say your kids aren't the only ones taking a break this summer. Summer slows down. The perfect time to speed up your systems. Let's say this is casual. This is not your system's going to be hacked. With lighter schedules, people out on vacation, summer is actually the best time to get ahead. We always recommend June and July to update software, clean up devices, make this long overdue system upgrades when the office isn't slammed. Future you in September will thank you. Again, summer is the time where a lot of people are taking vacations and trying to get away from the office. So it is a good time to say, okay, well, we need to do X, Y, Z. Normally that would slow us down. It's out of the busy season, so let's do those things and not worry about it. We're recording this in 2025. That's going to be a great time to also update all of your devices to Windows 11, which you're going to need to do as they're ending support for that in October. Look, I need a summer tune-up checklist. I've got one. Just reach out and I'll send it over. Perfect. Great call to action there. Generate. Again, into the social tips. Perfect. It's 2 videos. It's been 25 minutes. We got 2 videos out. A second video about when the fish come biting. I mean, you see, yeah, this is the big holdup. It's going to be processing time, and then it's going to be scheduling and setting up the videos. So that's a different kettle of fish. So what you will do there is, again, you can use a template. Easy peasy. That makes it even faster. You don't have to keep doing this. Don't want to add more hooks. I just want Will. Again, in the center of content, turning off this. Yeah. There are some other tips and tricks if you're going to use other programs. So here's the hook. You can also upload audio and have it sort of map over, which is really interesting. We haven't played with that too much because again, this is we want simple, efficient, and easy ways to turn out content. So again, a summer is peak season for hackers, not for just beatgoers. If you've been on your computer, you might have seen a lot of fake travel invoices. That's one of the big scams going around. It's like, oh, we canceled your airline trip. And that's one of the things, if you do have travel coming up, it's going to make you panic. You're not going to be thinking. You're going to be like clicking on that and then entering in all your information, handing it right over to hackers. So phishing attacks spike in the summer. No eyes on email, temp workers filling in, a lot of urgent invoices coming through. There's an uptick. Again, spam emails, phishing emails have gotten more sophisticated, especially with these same tools that we're using right now to make our lives easier. They're making hackers' lives easier. Great. Full day attribute system support. Yeah. Again, you'll if you're not in a race to see how many pieces of content you can make in half an hour, you would go through all of these and you'd fix up the calls to action. You'd fix up the rest of the voice so you can say like, okay, yeah, this is on brand for system support. This is on brand for my business. This is how the boss would speak. But right now we're doing this real quick and dirty. Again, we've got Will back, and we're unattended doesn't mean unprotected. And can you fix ChatGPT's formatting? Yeah, basically once it outputs things, you could say, hey, remove these subheaders and headers. That's fine. And the other great thing about video is some of ChatGPT's like punctuation ticks, like using end dashes a ton. Not that I don't love a good end dash, is they're not apparent in video. So, it makes it a lot easier. So again, it's not firewalls and software. Physical security still matters. Again, we don't do security or cameras. We have several partners that can do that. But if someone can walk in and access your device, all the online security is real tough, which is why it's important to make sure you're locking computers and devices. Let's do a quick audit. Yep. So generate. And that goes into social tips. And then we have 30 seconds left. Create a video. Replace the avatar with Will. Will is there now. Working remotely, so are the hackers. Let's see. So that's 4 pieces of content in about half an hour. What you would do from here is schedule them as per usual with whatever you're using to post. You can also just have ChatGPT say, take these 12 pieces of content and provide a social media post with relevant hashtags for LinkedIn. LinkedIn's kind of our primary driver of sales, just because the community we interact, just because of the community we hit. Obviously, if you're more B2C, then you'd be looking at Facebook and YouTube, maybe TikTok. We actually got banned from TikTok somehow. Like all platforms, they're never very clear about why they've made any sort of decisions, but we were basically reposting all the things we do on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So maybe they were just like, hey, we've seen these somewhere else. It's like, no, that's us. LinkedIn with links and calls to action. Or alternately, you can just put the text in. So the more advanced version of this is I will take the video we generate here. I go over to Adobe Express. You can use Canva for this as well. I use Adobe Express because as in marketing and design, I have an Adobe subscription and the premium comes with this. So they'll give you a lot of like stock video and photo and elements. So you can give it more of that sort of TikTok brain rot thing. So you can have like the shifting background. So this is the upcoming webinar we have. Just knock out the background, put in a visual behind him that's going to keep the eye here, add some text, and then you're good to go. And all of that in a very short period of time. Again, if we had just sat there for the half an hour, we could have knocked out a month of content. And if you want to do a good job, in an afternoon, you've got a month of video content. And I think that's powerful. And businesses need to take advantage of these things to not only for marketing purposes, but also to occupy the space and just be present where eyes are going to be. So you're, even if the engagement is relatively low, as you can see, so is the effort. It's not generally going to cost you too much to do this kind of content marketing. The return's great. It's hard to say, but the investment is low. It's a good way to get your foot in the door and start creating a machine that will let you keep putting out this kind of content. So you're in the space, and this is just one option. There are more sophisticated options that you can learn. Basically ones where you can turn this webcam into a motion rig, and you can pilot the boss like a puppet, and then they can better match the audio and video so it makes more sense with what's being said, but you're using your time or a performer's time instead of the boss's time. And when the boss is getting pulled in a million directions, that can make a lot more sense because they have to close the actual sales. They're meeting with clients. They're running accounts. When you're wearing a lot of hats, the more you can take off and hand off to someone else, the more productive you're going to be able to be. And with the margins and operating limits of small and medium-sized businesses, that's so important. And if you have any other questions, we're going to have a video of the webinar on our YouTube channel and other socials. And you can just visit us at sport.com for more information. Thank you so much.